okay, what's going on here? To me, I read that as, okay, it sounds like someone might be getting nervous because it's too quiet on this side.
I read it as his first mistake.
How so?
Because to me, it felt like a mockery of the West Coast.
Absolutely.
So when you do that, you're going to unite it. You know what
Hey, I'm a fair person. I think that's, I don't look at it as a mockery. So then when I don't look at it as a mockery, I actually applauded the move in the battle. I still like the song, but I do understand that element that on the West Coast, which by the way, this idea of the West Coast was a huge element that really united to help. Like they literally said, not like us united the West Coast. And I'm like, so you're telling me a song that you're saying we found the pedophile united the town? United the fucking coast where you're like, we found the pedophile, he's over there. And it united the whole coast? That's what y'all united over? That's y'all, we are the world? Okay. But I could see how those moves turn to like maybe some centrist idea of, yo, nah, you using Snoop's voice and Pac's voice acting like the West would ever be supporting you and would go against our own. We got to show you that we won't ever go against him, and we're going to show you the power. I could see that idea, so I think that's a valid point. Even though, I'll say valid point. I'll let him cook.
Yeah. If it was any type of division or anything at that time, once you do that,
right,
you're going to get all the people together. You're going to congregate them.
Hearing an AI version of Tupac's voice delivered by that guy has never made me rip off the High Yellowness off me. I've seen it.
Now, here's the problem with how that this is the misremembrance of the battle during that time, and why I believe, they're going to say, and I'll agree that TaylorMade didn't age as well as maybe some of the other records, but here.
That was the worst diss song of all time. That shit needs to be wiped from existence. That was the worst diss song of all time.
Here's the reason why it doesn't age that well. It doesn't age that well, not only because Kendrick did respond and he responded pretty, very strategically. It doesn't age that well because what is left out of the story is that right at that moment when Drake drops TaylorMade Freestyle, there was like a renaissance of AI music. We've never heard that much AI music where people were creating diss songs for Drake. They were creating diss songs for Kendrick because there was so much anticipation on when are you guys going to drop. By the way, think about it. Have we seen that many AI songs recently? No. By the way, UMG put their foot down about all those AI songs. So we started seeing a lot less of those. But in that moment, AI was being talked about a lot, where people were even saying, maybe Push-Ups is AI. If Drake don't claim it, it's AI. So Drake, understanding that moment, he did a momentary reflex move by using AI with himself, but in a way to kind of almost poke fun and to jab at Kendrick, which in the moment I thought it was genius, because understanding how current shit is, and that is the topic about all these AI songs, great. Now, after the battle is done, we don't even think about AI songs anymore. You get to rewrite the narrative about TaylorMade, right? TaylorMade, the narrative about it now is that you dropped this song thinking Kendrick wouldn't respond, pompous as hell, and you also said, use the one line, you use the thing they say about me on the Joe Budden podcast to try to come at me, which is the underage stuff, and then Kendrick says, okay, it's probably a minor, right? So that's how people have rewritten it, but I didn't look at it like that. I don't know what you guys think. Let me keep playing.
Got cringe when I seen it, because I said there's no way in hell. And then you're saying, but see, here's the added element.
Stop. There's no way you can justify that bullshit ass song. It's complete garbage. Complete ass. Complete dookie. Diapers. Complete sewage. That is the worst diss song of all time. That shit needs to be wiped from existence. All right, no Spotify, no YouTube. Drake should put out a cease and desist anybody who plays that song. He should put a cease and desist out on his own record. Anybody play that shit, I'ma sue you. If I was Drake, I'll sue anybody that play that stupid ass song. Take them to court. Defamation. Something, I don't know.
Mistakes are made in every battle. The added element that got me is some of the things that you see in the political sphere now entering the hip hop media sphere.
Yeah.
And now you're getting a pushback with a lot of different outlets that are trying to help a moment where maybe they themselves were a little bit nervous about it. Because I remember, if I'm speaking to specifics, I remember DJ Akademiks was counting down days and saying, 3 days since, we haven't seen a response. In the back of my mind, Punch, I said in the video, I said, after this TaylorMade, I said, good guys, you're going to get a masterclass coming up.
Yeah.
I saw the way y'all worked.
You know what? And you privy to that. Everybody else didn't see that.
Yeah.
And everybody think we don't put out enough music. Mm-hmm. So they took that as some sort of weakness. As
Now, me doing the countdown was me realizing, and you know, these guys, like, I get what they're saying. I knew this was going to be possibly the biggest battle of all time, and it was. And the moment Drake put my name on the song, or put my voice at the end of the song, it literally said to me, Ak, this shit is going down on your platform. So I was determined to make sure Kendrick didn't run. No, nigga, you're gonna. So I know they're acting like I wasn't counting down for Drake. I mean, did I talk to Drake about like what he was thinking at that time? Yeah, I think I did. But I'm counting down for me. Listen, that was the most beautiful time. I think Joe Budden me and him got some action, but there was no more people in media but me. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. I wanted it to happen again. I mean, of course, I didn't want the shooting part to happen, but run it back. I love when Kendrick said I was compromised. I'm still compromised. Perfect. So the countdown was no. Like, I mean, I had the same sentiment Drake had, and I guess that Drake was rapping about. I wasn't doing it for him. I'm doing it for me. No, Kendrick. I need this damn response. And then when Kendrick dropped the response, and then he comes with 616 and he says, I see the vibes on Ak. He looks compromised. I'm like, yes, everybody's gonna count. I did a countdown for Drake too. I did a countdown for Drake. I don't give a fuck. No. This is the hey. Not that I wasn't solidified already, but the biggest rap beef in history. I don't even think it was Drake and Meek. I think it was Jay and Nas. I notoriously remember songs or interviews or whatever getting premiered on Hot 97. Hot 97 was a centrist or the central media outlet for that battle. All I know is forever and for always. I don't care if they hate me. I don't care what they try to do to write me out of history. Whenever y'all mention Drake and Kendrick, y'all gonna always gotta say it happened on Ak's platform. And I'm good with that. I'm a legend. I'm good. I'm good over that. That was a career making move. I'm good. Thank you. I'm good. And that's really what it was. You know what I'm saying? Now,
No. Cap.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop fucking lying.
You ain't got to lie, Craig. You ain't got to lie.
Ain't nobody lying.
People will know. People are not gonna know you for the battle. People gonna know you for being the ultimate Drake OV ho. That's what people gonna know you about this battle. How much you was glazing Drake. All right, that's people not gonna be like, oh yeah, Akademiks. No. People, we can go back to your videos and see how you reacted to Drake and how you reacted to Kendrick. People ain't gonna be thinking about Akademiks when they think of Drake and Kendrick. And if they do think of Akademiks, they're going to say, oh, yeah, that's the Drake Glazer. Yeah, Akademiks, the Drake Glazer. Oh, yeah, that's going to be your position in this historical run. Oh, Akademiks. Oh, the Drake Glazer. Oh, okay, yeah. That's it.
Granted, do I believe Drake was probably wondering what it was? Yes. Now, here's the thing. And I think some of Drake associates said this, so I'm not saying anything that he ever said to me privately, but this was a sentiment and also rumor. I believe at that time when Drake dropped Push-Ups and then he dropped TaylorMade, there was this long-standing rumor that Kendrick had cooked up a diss track for him that was years old, but it was so crazy and it was gonna be like a one-hitter quitter. And Drake was trying to like get him to release the song. So if you had asked me, I think Drake had TaylorMade, maybe not TaylorMade, Family Matters cooked up in some sense. And I think Family Matters, maybe the first part of the song that he teased at the end of Push-Ups, I think he was like, all right, whatever song this nigga drops, I'm gonna drop this. So I'll do a tease, but I gotta get him to drop this bomb. Because that was the word. Kendrick is sitting on, which by the way, I don't think he used, if that song really existed, I don't think he used it as battle at all. Maybe he used some lines from it, but I think he cooked up fresh. And Drake had no songs in the vault for Kendrick either. So they both cooked up fresh, I believe. But there was this idea that Kendrick had a song, and people in the industry were talking about it, saying, yo, Kendrick got this song for Drake that if he drops it, he's taking Drake's head off. Drake heard that too. And I think Drake was like, all right, cool. Well, what will be the strategy here? Well, if we get into it, I need to get him to drop his atomic bomb quick. Because if he has like this bomb of a song that people have just been gassing up, once he drops that and we continue past that, he's going to have to out-hit me. And it looked like, it don't feel like that was what Kendrick did at all, honestly.
Listen, man, people overlook Meet the Grams. I don't know why Meet the Grams don't get the credit that it deserves. Man, Meet the Grams was the nail in the coffin for me. All right, Meet the Grams. I thought it was over. Before Not Like Us, I said, holy shit. I said, oh my God. Damn. Meet the Grahams don't get the credit that it needs to get. It was over after Meet the Grahams. I didn't even need Not Like Us. Not Like Us is just a commercial diss hit. Meet the Grahams was the nail in the coffin for me. I said, holy damn. So to me, the battle was already over after Meet the Grahams, right? Not Like Us was just, putting the dirt on the coffin, putting the tombstone on, getting the flowers, the preacher having the word, that's what Not Like Us was, but he was already dead. Meet the Grahams put that nigga in the dirt. All right. That was, boy, Meet the Grahams. That, whew, boy.
As if nobody's working.
Right. And you yourself just said Solo would take a few weeks off, come back and put half an album down.
Absolutely.
It's like,
for sure.
This is the environment that you're second guessing. Well, me being privy to it, I couldn't even see that.
Even if you go back to it, right?
Yeah.
That put out an album every year and a half.
Right.
For years, all the way up to damn.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The only delay was
contracts.
Big Steppers.
Big Steppers, right. Okay.
Why did the TDE guys never admit that the reason, like, Kendrick didn't take 5 years to write an album. He was just trying to get away from y'all niggas. And what I mean by that is he was trying to go build his own shit. Okay? He was trying to go build PG Lang. And I've gotten really good word that it wasn't, because we heard Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. That shit sound like it took 15 minutes. Not playing. But it sounded like it took like 6 months. 6 months to create, right? It didn't take 5 years. The nigga was trying to get out of a contract. Now, did he keep it pretty, I don't know if you want to call it or he kept it pretty, like, clean, where you didn't see him online, like we've seen Wayne online saying Cash Money is whatever, or cussing out Birdman on stage. We never seen Kendrick disrespect TDE, disrespect Top Dog, disrespect Punch. But were they working out these details? And also, not only with TDE, I would imagine, it's with Universal Interscope, right? Hey, we got to figure this out. And I would imagine Kendrick's like, well, I'm not dropping again until it's figured out, because I'm not reading up. So if I'm not reading up, I'm going to have to leave. And if that's going to take some while, or, sometimes the contracts might have some years that you are still under contract. All right, cool. I'm not dropping here again. By the way, that's also a ballsy move. I would love to hear the inside outs to it. Like when you think about like moves like that Frank Ocean made with Blonde, right? That way of finessing the music industry is such a bold move, but a confident move from an artist that knows he's the shit. You know that you could get out of this situation, and finesse here, but fans aren't going to call you whack because of how you got out, because they know you're going to give them great music. Kendrick, I think how he waited for 5 years, I thought that was a bold move too. Except even though anticipation did kind of build, because Damn was such a great album, anticipation built by him not dropping, but it's still a bold move to be like, yo, coming off my biggest successful album, sold 603,000 records first week, I'm not going to drop for 5 years until I get the fuck off of TDE, build my own shit, help my cousin get on, and I do it on my terms, and people are going to have to wait. And if people got tired of waiting and they're saying, cool, I'm not that interested in Kendrick's music anymore, fine. But I'm going to just double down on my convictions. This is how I want to do it. So I give Kendrick credit for that. I would love to hear the reality behind it, right? Every time they talk about this, act like, nah, he just took 5 years. Man, it took 5 years because he was trying to get away from y'all niggas, man. And when I mean get away from y'all niggas, get away from being signed to someone. He wanted to own his own shit, right? He wanted to own his own shit.
In that time, we had a full pandemic.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which people don't account for.
Right.
So it's like you got to give at least 3 years to that, because you don't know the state of what's happening, what's going on with the world.
Right.
So from that, the narrative became, you don't put out enough music. Like, oh, you didn't do the history.
Yeah.
You missed the whole thing.
This is why we're jumping around, because now I get to put a pin in this and say, I remember when Dot was dropping music all the fucking time on Two Dope Boys.
Absolutely.
And it was like it was to the point where he would have a single for his single for his single. Yeah. If you want to look at it from the old terminology of a music industry, putting out music was never the issue. Never.
This idea that Kendrick didn't drop for 3 years, or for 3 out of 5 years at a hiatus, is because of the pandemic. It's completely like BS, right? I think we acknowledge that.
And it's still not the issue.
Right, we see that now. Yeah. hit the bomb on that one, Sean. I think we've seen those of us who are big fans of what Kendrick does. Man, it's dope for me to be able to separate me getting to know the person, but then also getting an opportunity to enjoy this and be like, yo, that what I went to Pac for.
Yeah.
I'm getting what I was hoping to get from 3 Stacks at some point. Mm-hmm. He found a way to do it in his own way and make it his own story.
Here comes the glaze.
And from day one, he told you what the mission was.
Yeah.
And never strayed.
Never strayed. Stuck to being honest.
Stuck to being honest. Talking about someone glazing?
That
the nerve of this
is
nigga.
so diabolical.
Talk about somebody glazing.
When things started to like, he ain't coming back outside. We're done here. It got quiet.
Yeah.
and then Euphoria drops.
Here come the glaze.
I'm sure that you heard Euphoria
Really?
beforehand.
What's crazy is, like I said, I had to go on tour.
Oh, you had to go on tour. That's right. Okay.
So I'm in Australia when they kick off.
Exactly. The glaze master talking about somebody glazing. Okay. All right.
Wait a minute. Slow it down.
I'm gonna be honest with you, and I think I said this before. It's really close between Family Matters and Euphoria as the best diss song in that battle. When I first heard Euphoria, I was driving to the liquor store. It dropped like at 11 a.m. I'm driving to the liquor store.
I heard about it so
Don't ask me why I'm going to the liquor store that early. Getting a bottle of
Great.
Henny. And when I heard the shit, I was just like, oh, nah, Drake up 1-0. I mostly said that because it took so long for the song to build up. It took a while for the song to get to the point of where, make, like, and I said, this slow, want to be strategic way of responding to push-ups, a record that's, it's the beat drops immediately. Kendrick is on the timing of thinking, let me give you 300 bars, while Drake is on the timing of, I'm going to drop the hits. In hindsight, Euphoria, I've given credit for being the blueprint of his strategy book, breakdown that's cerebral. It's a really amazing song. I've said that, like, conceptually, the beat changes, production wise. I like Euphoria a lot. I can't lie. But when it first dropped, I scored it. And by the way, here's the thing how I scored, because I think my scoring was different. If I put it against push-ups, did I say push-ups won? If it was against push-ups, even though low key, I was actually saying push-ups responds. Yes. So like that responds to first-person shooter, and Euphoria responds to push-ups. Right?
Yeah.
And by the way, people's opinions do change. Love push-ups. But Euphoria is, when you watch the battle, you appreciate it more, right? Because all that little spooky shit, that's why you have these little deranged fans now, like they're going with the spooky shit. Kendrick said it on Euphoria, and then somehow kind of he wove that web over time. Which,
So is he finally admitting that Kendrick won? Well, everybody already knew that he won, but Akademiks still lives in this world like it didn't happen. But sounds like Akademic is now a believer,
which makes the song a little bit more special. But in the moment, I was just like, that's not enough.
Down.